Hello and welcome back to DocTrack Training. For this lesson, we'll look at the approval process for visual work instructions. We'll also go over how revisions work. Here are the work instructions we created on our last lesson for prepping the SA5920 frame assembly for paint. Now that we have some data here, let's take a closer look at the interface. As I mentioned on our last lesson, we're currently in the detail mode. But if we select this back button, the display changes to the summary mode. This will be very helpful when we start making revisions. These blue circles, or badges, indicate how many work instruction steps there are for each operation. We also know that selecting the plus sign will add another step. And selecting the trash icon will delete the selected step. With the up arrow, you can move a step up, and you can move it down with this arrow. Of course, don't forget to save your work each time you make changes, or you'll lose them. Up here, it indicates that the current status of this work instruction set is work in progress. Since it's never been approved, there's no revision number for it. With this slider, I can expand the row height on the left so that it shows all of the content. As I select each line, I see the text and graphic content in the editor. I also see the attachment description. Selecting this down arrow in this section will show me the path for the attachment. And since this is not approved yet, I can still use my browser to change it or delete it altogether. Okay, this looks pretty good, so I'm going to change the status. Notice that I don't have the option to approve. That's because the user needs to have the Manager DocTrack Work Instructions permission group to approve work instructions. But Randall can indicate that this one is ready for approval by changing the status to pending. Now, even though the status was changed, it still won't be included with new job orders until it's approved. And to do that, I'm going to log in as Pete Simmons, the Manager of Engineering. I'll open the items form, filter for SA5920, and open DocTrack Flex. Then I'll slide over to the work instructions. I'll open the pending work instructions and review them. This one looks good. And so does this one. You know, I think we should split the last one into two different steps. I'll change the description to Inspect and Protect. Then I'll cut the last sentence and add a new step. I'll call it 10-4 Hang. And paste my text to the editor. All right, this looks fine, so I'll approve it and save it. Notice that the revision number has changed from NA to 1. Now, the next time we release a new job for this item, ShopTrack users working on the first operation will have these work instructions. Okay, that's the approval process. But let's say we've made the decision to have our operators complete an inspection worksheet during the third step. Since we've already approved our work instructions, we can't edit them. So we'll select the back button and select the plus icon. DocTrack now knows we plan on revising these instructions, so it creates a new set of instructions from the previous one and assigns it a status of work in progress. Now I can select 10-3 and add the requirement to complete the worksheet. Then I'll select the icon to add an attachment. Let's just call it Worksheet and make it required. Now I need to browse and find the worksheet. Okay, this looks fine to me. Let's change the status. Since Pete can approve work instructions, he doesn't need to put them in pending first. Let's just jump to Approved. Any new job created from this point on for SA 5920 will now have these new work instructions for Operation 10, including the inspection worksheet. Now when I select the back button, I see both sets of work instructions. Revision 1, which has been moved to History, and Revision 2, which is the current set that includes the inspection worksheet. That's how to approve and revise work instructions. And that's all for now. On our next lesson, we'll look at how work instructions work with jobs. See you then.